My guest today is Jacky Minkler, founder of Novara, a platform to revitalize social connection by focusing on making genuine connections. According to the WHO, 1 in 6 people, or approximately 16% of people worldwide, experience loneliness and social isolation, impacting their physical and mental health, quality of life, and longevity.
There's another stat that's crazy that I learned. Chronic loneliness is as bad for you as smoking, which is wild, and people do not realize how that affects your both physical and mental health all around.
That's just crazy, especially after the pandemic. This whole working environment changed so much, and people have been experiencing a lot of loneliness and social isolation. We'll dig deeper during the podcast, but welcome,
Yeah.
Jacky. Shout out to Workwise, an amazing co-working space in downtown San Francisco, kind enough to host us. Without further ado, let's start.
Awesome.
Jacky, we met a couple of days ago. You attended one of my events, Investor Founder Unfiltered.
Yeah.
I was just great to hear your story. So that's why I wanted the audience to hear from you what you are building.
Yeah, thanks
How
so
was the
much.
event?
The event was great. It's really nice to meet so many different people, especially founders and people like yourself that want to connect people. I think that's the essence of San Francisco. I've focused a lot on doing events with founders, and the community is exciting. Hearing everybody's stories and passion is contagious.
So I've been to, I would say, around 28 events so far, and I'm pretty sure I saw you in one of those. I don't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure.
Get around.
Tell us more about your journey. What led you to start Novara?
I've been thinking about this idea for over 15 years. I started it as a college project. So my senior thesis wanted to start a business of some sort. And I was thinking of how much community has differed from my dad's generation to our generation and how it's changed. We don't connect as much, even though our social networks are around. This was also right when Facebook was started. I just really wanted to do that. And so finding ways to get to the core of how do you connect people together, I focused around kids and gamification. But over the years, I started realizing that there's more we could do to have that connection.
What problem were you trying to solve and why?
Yeah. So I think this version of Novara really started about 6 or so years ago. After college, all of my community spun from sports teams. And when you stop college, you immediately lose all of your school friends, all of your sports friends. I was just searching for more people to do stuff with, and I found a triathlon team, but people cycled through that quickly, and there was no way to find more consistency. One of the big things I was noticing is I'm a very independent person, and a lot of my friends didn't like to do the things I like to do. So I started mountain biking and hiking, and it was just really hard to find other friends to do these things with. Mom hated when I did stuff by myself. A few runner women were getting murdered. Those were starting to come up even in the middle of the day in suburbia. It's a scary time. I knew that it's safe to find these people, especially for mountain biking. I started looking at dating apps to find guys that would want to mountain bike with me and stuff like that. But it was an easy way to search your local community, find somebody with your shared interests. And at the time, 6 years ago, that's really all you could do. A really close friend of mine who I didn't know at the time saw me on Strava through friends of a friend, found me through Instagram, through
Strava?
other
You said
friends of a
Strava?
friend. Yeah,
Oh.
so Strava is a running social network, tracks your data, posts, and people can give you kudos. At that time, you couldn't message anybody directly. So to find anybody to go for a run, it was just luck if you knew some people. She ended up finding me on Instagram, slid into my DMs, and we just started biking together because we had a lot of shared interests, and we instantly became friends.
I can totally relate. Born and raised on a tiny island. When I came here, wow, there are so many people. I want to meet people, but at that time, just go on apps and see which people I can connect to. But it was really difficult to genuinely connect with people.
Yeah. When I moved here 4 years ago, coming from a really tight knit triathlon community, I came here and I'm like, this is amazing. Everybody does triathlon in San Francisco. So I tried to join every run club, every triathlon club. But the problem with San Francisco compared to a smaller area is the consistency isn't there. There's so many people that can do different things. We're all doing different races or non-races. The consistency is how you make a friend. Even going to a run club with 50 people, how do you find the one that has availability at your time? And so I want to go for a run with somebody to a million different steps to get to, okay, you finally found a person that can call that consistent friend.
Well, that takes time. People are busy, especially in daily lives.
Yeah.
Tell us more about your background. So you moved from New York to the West Coast now.
Yeah.
How did you experience the environment here? Was it a change from the East Coast or is it the same more or less?
Yeah.
Big change, right?
If you can find people similar to yourself, there's a lot of unique differences from the East Coast to the West Coast. What I found the most is people are much more welcoming here. On the East Coast and in New York, especially, they're more individualistic. Here is just so communal. You want to collaborate. And I think that's why Silicon Valley had that big boom back in Apple and Microsoft, because competing with Boston, they were more individualistic and didn't share ideas, and Silicon Valley did.
I've been here in the Valley for 6 years now. I feel it's such a different vibe in the city. There's so much diversity. People are for one purpose, to grow together. And it's just, I don't know, that's really the beauty to be here and just experience the cultural, entrepreneurial spirit of this city. It's just amazing.
Yeah, it feels contagious. Like all the passion gets you excited. And even if you never thought of starting a startup, if you've talked to enough people, you're like, that might be a decent idea.
So I've been going to so many events. I think there was one time where I met someone who was here just for the night. He said, I'm here, but I'm flying tonight. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. It's such a different city and vibe. That's the beauty, really.
Really happy I ended up here.
So tell us more about some of the challenges that you have faced or you're currently facing when you're building Novara.
Yeah, pretty early at building, but because I've wanted to do this for so long, even 6 years ago when I started writing my first business plans, my background is in design and product management, and I wasn't a developer. AI platforms weren't out back then, so I couldn't develop myself. Learning to code seemed not of my passions and interests. And so finding somebody at that time, and even now, I don't have a co-founder yet. I think this industry is so hard, like consumer, social, connection. People get scared when you hear those words. Yeah. Engineers are really excited about AI and stuff, even though we are going to focus heavily on AI and machine learning. For connection and personalization, you need all of that. I really just needed to find more people that were passionate about this idea. Over the past 6 years, especially after the pandemic in San Francisco, and people are much more communal in nature, I found a lot more people that were passionate about it. People are starting to understand how important social is to your holistic health. And I'm really excited about it. There's so many apps that are coming out like that. And I think we are pretty unique in our philosophy. But I'm excited because that means we all rise with the tide. I think that's great for the whole space and connection in general.
What is the most surprising insight that you have seen? Why people struggle to connect in real life?
I think mostly people say that they don't have time, which makes a lot of sense. Yeah. However, if you put it into perspective, social is just as important as your mental and physical health. You always know that you need to make time to eat, sleep, and exercise. Social is just as important. Even the World Health Organization thinks of it as the third pillar of health. If we start teaching the world that and having more acceptance and acknowledgement around that, they'll start making time for it. A few things that prevent that time is the intentionality. So many people are trying to do so much, but they don't really sit and focus on what are my priorities? Are these people making me feel good? Is this exactly what I want to spend my time on? Do I want to have another goal that might seem overwhelming? But if you can start prioritizing yourself and your activities, then you'll find time.
I completely agree. And I feel that the pandemic played a big role in that.
Yeah.
Especially, I was here during the pandemic. I could literally count the number of people outside on the streets. That environment is still here today. I could see it that people are still scared, or they're just to just go out and
Yeah.
especially mingle with other people. And now that remote work is much more common, I think most of the work can be done remotely.
That community and consistency from back in the day, we're coming back to the pendulum swinging back to normal. Before, we worked in the same job for 40 years. We stayed in the same location. We barely moved across the world, let alone to another town.
Yeah.
We didn't have the communication like we do today. That created a lot of consistency and stability and that really tight knit community. Now we have so many different options. We're traveling, we have jobs every 2 to 4 years. So you don't get that consistency. And so that's another core element that I want to bring into Novara too, to not just meet new friends, but to maintain consistency with your current friends. Yeah.
And all this is changing too because now with the adoption of AI, I think it was last week or the week before, I went to an event where the founder invented an AI dating app. So all of your attributes are there and they will match you with the other person.
With the AI trend, there's going to be a lot of moving away from authenticity and in real life stuff. But that's what with Facebook too. We think of these social networks, they're really just social media. It's
True.
just all content of your feeds matching on people, which is more superficial. You're not really connecting on these events, these serendipitous moments that let you genuinely and authentically connect on, deeper levels. I'm excited about what I want Novara to do, more align with the users' motivations and needs. We think that we're the end user of social
Right.
media, but we're actually the product. The customer is really just advertisers, and we're the product to give our data. It's really for advertisers. We need to have a business model that aligns directly with the users. Ideal is using this AI to get people to be offline.
What's unique about Novara's approach? I've seen your recent article. You mentioned a logistical and emotional friction.
Yeah.
Can you tell the audience more about the platform's approach?
So, some of the barriers, you have an intention to do something instead of going to 100 different meetups.
Yeah.
It's like months to years to finding that one end goal of finding a friend to do something with. If you can take out all of those steps and have somebody search, ideally, this step would be I want to go for a run tomorrow morning. I want somebody at my pace, I want to do my distance, and we have the same availability. Easy as that. If I can search in my neighborhood, that'd be ideal. But now we have to go through all these hoops. It's only hosted by event organizers, not based from the individual. I want Novara to have core concepts brought together to optimize your social health. It's not just an event platform, it's incorporating things to make it more efficient. I know a lot of women might struggle from bothering their friends too much about planning something. And so there's that emotional friction that comes to play. So schedule something within 2 weeks. It might be like 2 more months before we try again. And that's not great. If the people that we love are just like a mile away from us, it's just really sad that there is not something automated that knows our calendars and schedules and just pops in an invite of, okay, I want to go for a coffee with one of my best friends that lives in the next neighborhood. It's just really hard to coordinate anything.
So this brings me to the question, do you think there is differences in gender, especially women and men, in connecting genuinely with other people? What's your perspective on that?
I've read a lot. I've been really interested in social behavior and neuroscience and the core reasons of why we do things. I got recommended the classic book called like Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. There's a new version. He had so much feedback over 20, 25 years, and he wrote this new one. The insight there was men and women actually regain their energy in different ways. Men often regain their energy by alone time. And women regain their energy by connection and intimacy. People our understanding of love languages these days, energy building is another concept we have to think about how each other recoups. No apps or solutions out there really help that. Women really want that personal connection. I knew another woman building a similar app and a social connection, and she did a prototype. Was getting a lot of women for her social app to connect friends, but majority of the people that signed up for this men. And so they're, I think, secretly wanting new connections and that deeper connection, but more of societal burden of not supposed to need emotion. And so reaching out to connecting isn't nature as much as it is for women because we know we need that. So that's some of the core differences. And I think that this app, I really start with women in mind because of the challenges I've had taking that emotional and scheduling barrier. This will definitely help men too because I don't really see men going on Bumble BFF very often or have ever heard of that happening, to be honest. But if you connect on an activity, it's both mutually beneficial because it's an accountability and motivation buddy, like even a golf partner or a pickleball partner, something like that. And you don't have to be friends at the end. It's not like you're matching in the sense that, okay, this is a date or this is a match. You're going of, hey, I just needed a buddy for this. But if you click and have that connection, the same availability, same goals, that inherently builds into a real genuine relationship, how we used to relate to each other and build those relationships.
I feel that it's a generational thing too. Because when I grew up, we didn't have tablets and all that. My mom would just go out and play, mingle and socialize. But I feel that now it's just so different. It's just evolved, especially with the adoption of technology and innovation. People are just connected digitally rather than physically or being out there with their friends. And socially.
The digital world it's been great. So I know like Gen Xers, they never had an opportunity to find people that were like, if they were from a small town, the benefits of technology and communication, finding your people and the exchange of communication, everything about that is amazing. But then I really think the enemy is the social networks. We're filtering into these silos. It's beneficial for media to get us into these cohorts of small ideals. That's separating us a lot. And we can see that divide in America right now. And when you think about it, so many people actually agree on 80% of the things, but the media is trying to pull us apart just for more dollars. I've always been an advocate of using our technology for good and for change. If you can get people offline and more connected, but then using this technology as a utility of keeping you on a socially healthy track is my goal.
So help us understand how the platform works. So basically you have different groups of activities so that people can just sign up and then they are directly connected with other people.
So it's complicated right now, but I'm starting in a real niche. I'm only starting my beta with San Francisco runners to start getting that flywheel effect of having people within the same community. What really it is just posting an event, which I want everybody to be able to do, requesting somebody to join me on a run, put in the run's details, and you can filter on those details. And that's basically like an activity marketplace. And over time, I want calendar integration so it can seamlessly know and recommend only events that actually align to your calendar. So it clears a lot of the clutter. And then once you have your social connections tied in, you can start filtering it down. I think this is where the real power can come in. I only want my 3 good friends that I haven't seen in a while to do something. Find us an activity that all of us love and find us a time within a few clicks. And that's what I wanted to recommend. I really want to make sure we meet up, schedule us a time once a month with our shared availability, and dynamically update it if something else comes up. Instead of 4 p.m., it can be 3 p.m. or in the morning. From the women-focused ideas. Safety is everything, and trust and independence is everything. But to have an app with identity, validation, and this system where maybe I only feel comfortable going for a hike with women, you can filter that down. There's nothing this personalized yet, which seems crazy with how much data these platforms have on us. If none of my friends actually like mountain biking, I guarantee you one of their friends does. And so I would feel much safer and trustworthy with these people that at least have 1 degree connection away. If you move to a new area, that's a different story, but you can modify that with trust and rating scores as we see in apps like Uber. And the ironic part of this is if you go to Marina Run Club group chat, there's so many different subsections of runs and bike rides, track runs. It's not automatically scheduled. You don't get an RSVP. It obviously needs to be automated, which can be so much simpler. But I like to see the progression of the feed to the group chat to Novara, which would be completely personalized. You can give an event to everybody, bring it down to only your close friends, or you can post it to only people that like running.
Definitely makes sense. I would say automated, where you can privately invite some of your friends, and consistency. So once you go there, you can still join again instead of just figuring out the time, the day, next.
Exactly. Making things more efficient, taking that time barrier, and actually giving you back more time because you're not going to be scrolling on feed anymore. The one other cool thing of a longer term vision is the aspect of gig work. I thought about this concept in COVID when I wanted to start learning to crochet. Maybe my mom or my grandma, they don't crochet anymore, but I'm sure one of my friends' grandmas does. And I could see a world where I would absolutely pay somebody else's grandma in our neighborhood like $20 or whatever, teach me one-on-one. I could go on a million YouTube channels, but if I mess up a stitch, there's going to be nobody to tell me.
That's the importance of community too.
Village for everything.
Let's focus on your journey. You launched the private beta in SF, and now you will focus on fundraising. So tell us more about the experience. How has been the experience like so far?
So actually we haven't launched the beta yet, but I am taking people for the wait list. We will be launching soon. I have a few interns that have started, and we're really excited to get the journey has been going, especially with AI. I realize now I have so much power to build something on my own. So that excited me a lot. I found a tool built basically fully MVP within a month. I know that I need a little bit more refinement to give it to people for more feedback, but after I was like fully focused in development, I started a pre-accelerator program. You meet so many people, which is amazing. You're learning so much, and it pulls you away from actual development. Trying to balance time and prioritize that has been challenging, but the village is so important, and I've gotten some feedback of this is the time we can have solo founder businesses. I hate being by myself. I've been working as a remote employee since COVID, and I cannot get to more people fast enough. Just go down the street and buy a cup of coffee. Just to see other humans, it just gets me in a routine to get myself out of bed and not dread the whole day. I'm just sitting around with my cat and her yelling at me for food.
Absolutely. The founder hustle is there. Loneliness and social isolation emerge, especially when you're building and you see so many other people in your network doing the same thing. At the end of the day, sometimes you just get burned out. It's stressful. We're living in stressful times. It's such a competitive environment. Silicon Valley, especially, is just so competitive. It's difficult sometimes.
I think with burnout, I feel like everybody at this point has been used to burnout.
Yeah, I agree.
There's a lot of tips and tricks. I'm not an expert. I burn myself out a lot. So don't anybody listen to me on that. I feel like I'd much rather be burnt out with my own passions than at another company where it's just soul sucking.
Absolutely.
I found myself maybe 8 years ago, and I love this company. They were doing really cool AI tech, but it was in legal tech. I went from college doing all of this social change and kid and women empowerment to legal tech and B2B, doing a lot of platform work. And I'm like, this is so far from where I saw myself. Since then, I have been laser focused on trying to get this idea to come. Obviously, there's a lot of challenges and steps in the way. This year, a few things happened that made me think the universe is telling me it's time to rip the Band-Aid off. It's the perfect time with AI, with technology, with the community, with the evolution of social actually getting more recognition. I'm so excited to where we're
I
at.
feel that hybrid options are here now. Back to the office work is just coming. I really feel that it's important for people to socially connect with other people.
Yeah. We have a really big space at home, and we're really lucky about that. I know a lot of people go to co-working spaces because they don't have that luxury.
Yeah.
I felt the importance of it so much to be around people and have that outlet. And the space that I go to actually has a lot of clubs and a lot of other social, and they really focus on community, which is amazing. Ground floor, awesome people, and really genuinely care about community too. I just needed to get out of the house. I would highly recommend if people were founding their own companies, just go to a co-working space, find one that does have a lot of founders. We have a founders club, which I think they meet every Sunday. That alone helped me really feel like I could do this. Having that community is everything.
Absolutely. So you said you're not fundraising yet, but do you have any plans to fundraise for the rest of the year?
I did want to get the beta out first to get some traction and to get some understanding of where we need to pull this direction. But yes, I would definitely be raising a pre-seed either through an accelerator or passionate VCs that are really invested into this mission.
Do you have any figure in mind, or as you keep building?
I feel like 50 to 500 is like a typical pre-seed.
Right.
Not an expert in this yet, but I think that would help.
I'm just asking because the audience here, if they want to support you in any round.
I would love that, definitely. By the fall, I would like to either start or figure something like that out.
250,000.
250 to 500 would be ideal.
Let's transition to mental health of founders.
Yeah.
What's one thing about being a founder that people don't talk much about?
I think people don't actually talk about how fulfilling and happy it makes them. There's so many challenges, so much difficulty. If you're really passionate about that long-term vision, you always seem to figure it out. I didn't know how to bike and swim, and all of a sudden I was training for an Ironman. I have a goal and I really want to do this.
Yeah.
And you find ways to figure it out. I found a swim coach. I found a really cool community that became that consistency that gave me the empowerment to do it. One of the things that I would say is just always keeping that future vision in mind. Think about it every day, write it somewhere, visualize it. You can get so far in the weeds. People don't have managers and CEOs to remind them all the time. Do that yourself. I've been a PM, and so I've had to be that person for the team. I have to remind myself that all the time. My friend does that too. She's also a founder, which is really nice to have that community.
I've met so many founders in the past 5 years. I see the founder hustle, especially Harry Stebbings says the 996 culture, working from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., 6 days a week. But I feel that in the Valley, there's no fixed schedule. People just are working 7 days a week, just going to events, attending this meeting, attending this investor meeting, going out to meet people just to collaborate, right there going for guidance or networking. It's just stressful. What advice would you give to founders about staying healthy mentally and emotionally? Because it becomes a lot, especially.
Don't feel bad asking for help. Find a community, find people that are trenches with
Yeah.
you. Maintain a routine. I do that walk just so I can get some fresh air, get light in the morning, which is really important. Exercising is a good one, which I always forget. I always seem to deprioritize, but that one for me, especially running, has always been that good clarity. People, especially founders, even with my own work before founding my own company, I've always thought about the problems I was solving. And so
Right.
you think about it in the shower. Oh, yeah, I figured out how
Yeah.
to solve that problem. If you're focused on a problem that you truly love, those kind of things are just going to happen naturally. And it should be exciting for you. You can get overwhelmed by taking so many meetings. Think about what that's getting you. If it's not going to give you value of what you're doing right now, deprioritize it. I've gotten that recommendation from other founders in the past. You don't have to go to all of these networking events if you don't need something out of it. If you have the time, you do get a lot of insight.
And also the competitive aspect of everything. When you're building and the other people building at the same time, you just feel that you are lagging behind. Try to catch up, get burned out, and it becomes stressful, the environment itself. So that is very good advice that you get some sun, go for walks, try to mingle with other people, connect in your network with friends, families, always.
And that's the key thing too, is prioritizing your health, but also prioritizing your social life, because you want those friends to check in on you. Just as important as the others, focus on that time, but then be really intentional. You want to go out and party with these people and you're not getting that one-on-one connection, maybe deprioritize that. This one-on-one connection to catch up with your really close friend for dinner, that might be something that you prioritize. You might have to deprioritize certain people.
Yesterday, I was doing some research. It just popped in my mind, how many people do we meet in our lifetime? I Googled it, and you won't believe the answer. 80,000 people. So on average, we meet 80,000 people. More realistically, I would say maybe half of that, if not 10,000 people. But still, it's a lot.
I love that. I didn't travel much growing up, but more recently I have to Europe and everything. And especially being in a smaller area, you might not think that the whole world is the same. But everybody really just has the same genuine need for connection and the genuine passion of mentorship and showing people around. I went to Amsterdam. The people running the Airbnb were just the friendliest people. They would offer so much recommendations and they were just genuinely excited for you to enjoy something that they love. And that's what I found in triathlon too, which also gave me the idea for mentorship and monetization. In triathlon, you would have such a range of people, 60-year-old men that I might not have been, but they just had so much knowledge and wisdom, and we're just so excited to have more people love the sport that they do and to bring them around and tell them stories. You just don't get that when you're on a computer. My favorite trip recently was a hike in Nepal. I hiked the Annapurna circuit in the Himalayas. The people in these little villages, you would stop and stay over at night. They didn't have much of anything. They were in the most remote area, but were also the friendliest and welcoming people I've ever met. It's just so inspiring and motivational. You don't have to be a millionaire to donate money. Just your time and passion, what really makes a difference in people's lives.
Such a different experience. So where do you see Novara going in the next 12 to 18 months?
I really want to focus on making this one community and optimize their experience. I want to get to the full functionality at least within 12 months, hopefully sooner. The direction, the people, the data, all of that will help influence where we take this and what problems we're trying to solve. Changing behavior is really hard, but it's exciting to figure that out.
So where do you need the most help with?
So if you're runners in San Francisco, that's what we're starting with. Anybody that is passionate about this, wants to join as a teammate, anybody that wants to mentor, be an advisor. This is my first startup. I haven't been well versed in the consumer space, but I have so much conviction of this idea. And so I'm just open to so many people like collaborating with them. Any investors, and I know that there's starting to be more investors for women-led founders and the social aspect. I'm excited to start meeting those. Any connection to people like that would be great.
I can really see your passion, Jacky. Passion for the startup and what you're building. It's amazing.
I'm excited.
This is the most fun part of the podcast. This is the rapid fire round.
Okay.
So if you can respond in less than 3 to 5 words, that would be amazing. What's your favorite coffee shop?
Avo Toasty in Cow Hollow. They're excellent.
What's the best city in the world for meeting new people?
Hands down, San Francisco.
Love it. love it. So what's the biggest misconception about human connection? Tricky one.
Might be more than 5 words.
Yeah.
I think that people think it's complicated. Just a simple smile and hello makes people stay.
What's your favorite podcast or show?
I have been listening religiously for the past few months to Pivot and Hard Fork. Highly connected to San Francisco too, so it's great.
So what's one thing you hope Novara changes in the world?
I want people to have more empathy. I want it to bridge the divides that the world has been going in, and I think that will help people see each other in different lights, like traveling the world and getting to be with people who you might not have connected with in the past. Those serendipitous connections can really help with that empathy towards others.
So this brings us to the final question. If there was one key takeaway from this podcast, what would you tell to our audience today?
Obviously, it's community.
That's what I wrote down.
Find your genuine friends and really prioritize them, because through the years, that's what's really going to matter. The consistency with the people that you love.
I would just add to that. I think one advice from my side would be just don't be afraid. As you say, don't be afraid to talk to people. Just go out, say hello, try to mingle, be in a community of like-minded people, then help each other and grow together as a team. I think it works.
Yeah.
I came here in 2019 with no friends at all, but now I have some very good friends in a lot of networks, which helps me emotionally too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I think people might be afraid of putting themselves out there. So if you can take away that and put yourself in their shoes, everybody's looking for somebody to reach out to.
And Novara will help with that too. Jacky, thanks so much for sharing your journey today. It's always inspiring to see founders like you growing the Valley. I'll be more than happy to help you with your fundraising efforts.
Amazing.
Together, let's revitalize how the world connects, one shared moment at a time.
Yeah.
So for listeners who want to follow Novara or support your rounds, where can they view you?
My website directs to our beta waitlist. That's novara.social. For contacting me, following Novara on LinkedIn, you can go to bio.site/Jacky Minkler.
That's it for today's episode of Venture Bridge Hub. If you enjoyed this conversation and think it was helpful, make sure to follow and read a free database of 10,000 active investors. Until next time, keep building and keep bridging. Thank you, Jacky.
Thank you.